that nasty action, and we're starting to see some signs of that. So yesterday, lots of multiple catalysts actually, and the bigger story is what price did, which is caught sellers really offsides here, and we got another catalyst overnight, just really kind of laying it on. So we're getting a pretty big gap up. 4% is a pretty big deal on Meta after running over almost 5% yesterday. So a lot of momentum here. We haven't seen a ton of momentum in individual names. There's been some good, position trades, trend trades, but there's some good momentum present in Meta here. So that's going to take my focus for now into the open. Normally, and when I was writing the update, we were a bit extended on this pop in the pre-market, but since then we've actually reset pretty nicely, and the opening drive's actually available in the, I would say, more aggressive category, just meaning that it could, if it sees a first move up, you wouldn't want to risk too much below the opening print, but it can certainly start to move really quickly to the upside, based on the current structure, the trending structure, and nice little reset that we got there. Another thing to be mindful of is 664, 663.81 to be exact, is this gap fill area, a pretty big level. So, that being around the open, we'll want to see how it reacts to that first. So, a couple different trades could set up here. I think it deserves some focus just given the momentum. If you're not confident right at the open, likely sets up more than one opportunity. So just keep that in mind. Um, yeah, we can run through the rest of the list. I would say I do like Apple quite a bit as a secondary focus, but you can talk more about that one.
Cool. Yeah, if I can just add one thing to Meta, it's a good catalyst and it's moving really nicely. I like that yesterday we did what we did and came back and building on that. There's a lot of resistance here. There's a trend line on the weekly, on the daily. The weekly 50 moving average is at 658. The 200-day moving average is at 645. So if you could clear this, like you said, it could be nice. And then we'll see what happens. I'll be watching for this one, like a price action wise, like trade intraday, maybe technical trade. Um, so we'll see. All right. Sorry, a little scatterbrained here in the morning. Yeah, Apple. I like. Um, I like that we did what we did yesterday, and I like what we're doing here. Like I like that we're red. We're not like above all-time high. So I'll be looking for that break above yesterday's highs, and then then after that would be all-time high. Apple's tricky, so but I will trade this breakout if everything lines up for me. I will take a shot at it. This been this really nice kind of consolidation here after a pretty big run but days ago last week. So I'm liking Apple in terms of like where it is right now. PM. Uh, I'm okay with where it is right now. I think yesterday it took us a while to chew through those 315 sellers. Once we did, we saw a little bit of a push. Uh, so if we see a quick bit of a 315, 315.50 or so, I think this one could start going and target 316.50 and then all-time high above, which I think is 317.40. Um, so could be a nice little kind of zero DTE to watch. Alternatively, watch next week calls. It's always an alternative. Um, D-Dog, it's shown real nice strength. It's unfortunately a bit extended here for me, PM. But these names always give you an entry, I feel. But uh, really nice kind of defined level around this 70 to 71 area. And so if you get a dip into that and buyers step in, I'll be watching this one. A couple of other names within software that are looking nice. I just kind of mentioned Snow here. Snow is looking real good too. A bit trickier. I'm kind of favoring D-Dog. And just if just to pull another name within this space, it would be NET. NET is looking really good near all-time high. So there's this real nice kind of strength inside of this kind of basket of names that I'm watching. Um, Tesla, I think, remains like tricky, but it's also like fascinating the way it's moving intraday. And so, yesterday there were a few trades to be taken with that one. Um, but that 400 once again gave you 7 points. 408, 407 area has been resistance. But and that's why we're developing the 50-day moving average right near this 408. Just tells us that we spent a lot of time here. And then 200 days at 418. So it remains a tricky one, but it's been such a great like kind of tactical trade intraday. If you see momentum, if you see dips, they've been buying the dips into that 390 quite I guess frequently over the last I guess five days or so. Every time we move into that 390 area, it gets bought up. So um, for you that know, I am seeing a what I call tres puntos, which is basically a triple bottom where you have a low, a lower low, and then a higher low. So if you look on the daily, you can very quickly kind of identify that. That for me is something to watch. And so if it does play out, I think we can see new highs. You can see we saw something like that. If you go back to April, we saw a low and end of March, and then we saw a lower low like around that 8-9 April, and this we saw a higher low on April 27th, and that sparked a huge rally to the upside. I remember then calling the same thing out. So let's see if it does something similar here. We're kind of in the beginning of it. So that's all I have to say about Tesla. 403 backtest, 408 breakout. UNH building on yesterday, still holding up, looking pretty good. Harder trade, but it did pay yesterday if you took it. But yeah, 434. There is a lot of resistance around this 438, 436 area. So you have to ask the question, like, is risk reward good enough for me here? It might be if this is a huge breakout, it might push. I'm just saying on the weekly, on the daily, you can see that 438, 440 area is important. But calling it out because we've been tracking this over the last few days. Now, really nice kind of comeback here on the daily. Held that kind of that 88, 90 area back to us, and now back above here, 100 near 111 here actually in pre-market. So if it checks back into 110 and holds, I'd be willing to watch this one very closely today, especially with software doing pretty well. And if it remains like that, I think now could be a good candidate for a move towards 114, 115 area. And then one last kind of mention here, SKHY, the new IPO today. It is IPOing today, so it's well worth watching. It's oversubscribed and it's a big hype around it because of what it does, and I'll be watching that. Sarang, are you around? Yes, you are. What are you watching, sir?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Um, I think Meta looks nice. I think as Meta also covered very well, so I will not repeat. So I have Meta and Apple both on my watch list. So it's the same plan for Apple. Like I'll be watching all-time high breakout, looking for uh, 320 calls for next week. And Meta, I think I will watch some intraday pattern on the Meta. Uh, so apart from that, I think one ticker I like is Amazon. I'm watching it
Yeah.
from start of the week, so it's very nice
Mhm.
if you look at the daily structure. Yeah, so we are basing below the key level 248, 249 area. Um, yeah, so what I'm watching is we have nice pre-market structure, and so we'll be watching a break of this 249 area targeting 252 to 255 on Apple. And second thing, we have the IPO coming up, SKHY. So that's a memory name. So we have seen some kind of a weakness in memory sector like Micron and SNDK. So what I have seen is when SpaceX IPO was launched, so couple of other memory stock got sold off, and no, sorry, when the SpaceX IPO was launched, we have seen some selling in ASTS and Rocket Lab. So we'll watch Micron and SNDK today. So when this IPO launch, around that time, if we see some kind of a quick selling on these name, so a lot of time
Mm,
investor wants to move some of their money from, let's say, Micron or SNDK to SK, HY, SK Hynix. So I'll be watching closely. So especially for Micron, my plan is if we see a break above 1000 and if we are not able to hold, let's say 990 area, so I'll be looking to play short on Micron.
mm.
That's the one. And lastly, I think the crypto names are showing nice strength. So Hood is also looking nice today. We have a nice pre-market structure and back to that 52-week high. Circle is also around the same one. So I like the Hood on a daily time higher time frame. The Hood is looking nice. So what I'm watching is 119 to 120 area to clear, and so we'll be targeting 122 and 125
Hmm.
on Hood. So I want like 117 area must hold. Mm,
Yeah, I like that
I
hood
think
120 area. Looks good. And I like Amazon too.
yeah, that's it. So I think those are the name I'm watching. So let's wait for the IPO to launch in the second half, and first half focus is on Hood and Amazon and Meta.
Yeah, good
That's
stuff,
it.
man. I really like those additions.
We'll take a
Watch
cue
it.
from you later.
You're breaking up there. What did you say?
No, I said I will take a XP from you at the later stage.
Okay, sure. That makes you happy, right? Right. Let's go here. Take a look at your names. All right, GS looks great. Let's take a look. Goldman Sachs. Good. Looking at XLF here, just banks. Definitely could push higher. JPM looks good too. Actually, on the daily, I think it's a bit ahead of GS in terms of structure. GS, real nice kind of hold of 1000. Yeah, definitely could see some upside. Good. Yeah, Amazon's already covered here. RBRK. RBRK looks good too. Yeah, I mean it's attempting to break out here. Yesterday was a strong day. So I would watch continuation above yesterday's highs at the least. QCOM for Todd. QCOM, there's nothing there, man. Upside, there's nothing there. It's a piece of shit. You'd have to recover at the least. You'd have to move back above that 191 area. We're kind of rejecting that attempt yesterday. Those are the two lows from May and June. So if we're unable to, because if we do, that's a bit of a failed breakdown that we've put in here of this larger range above. If we can't do that, it's more downside candidate than upside. So I mean, you could look for that. But when I usually kind of yell at these stocks, they come back strongly, like Nvidia, the same day. Microsoft, nice gap up too, kind of moving with software. I believe filling or gapping up the gap. So there's that. Baba, I'm impressed with Baba. They usually sail into these pops. They have yet to do that, and it's making a turn here in terms of like capturing these moving averages. So yesterday we called that the continuation move, and it did so. If you're watching, there's a small gap above here. towards that 115.50 or so. So keep an eye on that. If you can recover 118, that's a bigger trade. But yeah, trickier kind of names. The Chinese names are harder, but if they're moving because of a catalyst, it's a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. So Reddit, yeah, I like the held 200, the little gap above the recent high of 208 or so. So yeah, this one has room to 215 or so. All right, we have 2 more minutes, and then I'm just gonna get my stuff. All right, Circle. Hey, we didn't add these to the watch list, right? No, okay, we didn't. Circle
Mm.
was one of those names that I liked after we had posted the watch list. Amazon was one, and Hood as well. Um, so yeah, it's a good catalyst. I don't know if Mateo, you have anything to add to Circle. Like you're pretty good at these kind of trades, but maybe the structure
Mm.
PM facilitates a push. I don't know. It looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, the opening drive's available. It's a little
Okay.
hot on the hourly, so a give and go would be a good option as well.
Yeah.
So it's an important catalyst. I'm a little surprised it's not giving up more, to be honest. So it could be a better day too if it actually holds up today. So
Hmm. Yep. Yep. Yep.
a lot of trapped buyers in this one.
Crowd. Yeah, crowd. I looked at yesterday, and that was a really nice day yesterday. I'd watch that 200 again. 200, 202. If that range clears, really nice. So SpaceX guys, interesting because China's doing what basically did what SpaceX does, which basically landing a rocket and allowing them to recycle those, which was a SpaceX thing. Yes, they are behind, I guess, but for them to do that, I'm not saying it might. I'm not saying it's going to affect SpaceX more than like the initial kind of drop, and they already kind of shifted. It's almost green again. It was a lot lower earlier in the morning. Like it actually hit 148 change. So, um, I mean, I don't know if it's AI. I don't think it's AI. But if it is, that's a different matter. But what I'm saying is that's interesting because it is a bit of a shift. Initial reaction was down on SpaceX. Now they're basically going green here. And so, might be liquid, a little bit more of a liquidity graph or higher. We'll watch that. I do have an alert around 150. That's triggered. Uh, so I'll watch that 156 or so. That's been important as of late. But yeah, interesting developments there. Yeah, they might have stolen technology, but that's not my business. Like I don't really. And their SpaceX just went green. Um, Snow. We talked about snow. It's on the watch list, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat that. All right, I want to get myself in order. My focus this morning is Meta. I'll be watching Apple, and I'll be watching Tesla. But it's already kind of like playing out here. Bit breaking towards 410. I was curious to see if we can get a little bit of a dip into that 407 area, 405 area, maybe for a turn, but it's already doing it. It is Friday today. Okay. So Mateo, your focus is the same, right?
Yep. I'm gonna focus on
Meta,
Meta.
Apple.
Yep, Meta Apple.
Very nice. All right, let's get them up. They just sold it to SpaceX there. Wow, Tesla just exploding here, guys. That's a big move, Tesla guys. That's a big move in one candle. that 4.7 to 4.11.
Meta just tagged that 663.81.
It's a bit hot now, Meta, for me.
Yeah, I think it can squeeze, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
size to zero
yeah.
at the open type of trade, yeah.
Okay.
Or wait, either way. Let's see what the premiums are at and go from there.
Okay,
Watching
so SB.
670s.
Mm-hmm. Apple testing 3.14. Yeah, guys, Tesla's a little tricky here, kind of breaking out already. Amazon 250.
Got filled up Meta 355, 670 calls. His premiums dipped really nicely, so taking a stab at that entry here. Gotta hold through 663 and change.
Circle turn. And those
Goods.
670 took off to
Yeah,
hold on.
got filled at 601 quarter.
Oof.
Guys, they're moving quick here. Filling
Goodness
another
gracious.
quarter here at 909.
Guys, Meta 682 above is something to watch.
What do you have? 682.
Yeah, around there.
I have one level here at 673.26 hitting now. I'm gonna take an eighth off. You can put it 1057.
SPX pushing higher nicely. 847 back test to highs here. $412 important here for Tesla.
It's being filled another eighth at 1163. Just being a little bit more aggressive because it's 0 DTE. Got a quarter left at our trail, and it can always roll. It's a really big win. I'm gonna trail the 2 bar 666. Yeah, evil.
Apple turn. Terms of SPX, watch 65, some resistance there, and then 7590 above. Nvidia, watch that 204 for that 207 big level. Apple's turning, it's just, I want to see it go green, but really nice move there. Okay, Apple. Apple's behaving really strong here, guys. Watch those 317.50s. That's kind of targeting all-time highs, all right? Really nice turn on Apple there. SPX pushing. ES 7600 crossing. Circle, nice turn. AMD, nice push, guys. Market is squeezing here. IWM getting sold into heavily here versus Qs, for example.
I'm seeing
Served a little bit of a turn.
690s.
Mm. Breaks up back above 390 here. Tesla, second time visiting 4.7. It's off there. Really nice trade though if you took that first back test. Called it out. I haven't taken anything. Just I was focused on Apple. I really want to play that magnet into all-time high. Just didn't really get in on that scalp, but just watching for now. Meta was a phenomenal trade by Mate.
I'm
It was
taking some
very
more off
close.
here at 924. Sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna look to
Sorry.
roll in the 690s for a premium expansion if we keep going.
Mm. All right, so guys, SPX here. In terms of SPX, we're back to the lows here. A little bit of a reversal off of that 60, 65 area, which I called out a little earlier. Um, if we start breaking below 50 here, it's going to be a little trickier. But I'm watching last week's highs, which is that 41, 35, 41. I'm going to watch for a bounce. Be a gap fill and then turn. Something we saw yesterday. The second kind of attempt to gap fill and then turn was really good entry.
I didn't roll up on Meta here. 690s at 175. These can go to zero.
That's your gap fill pretty much, SPX guys.
All
Watching
out
315
Meta
calls.
70s. Sorry.
Watching 315 calls Apple here.
Oh, shit. Actually not. Sorry. I heard the alert and I thought it was Meta, guys. I'll close the 670s just because it's fine. Phil is actually 502. Anybody else bought Meta? Who bought Meta? Edorts. Edorts with the dip buy. That's what confused me. I saw it come through the feed and I was like, wait, I just put that stop in. How did it get filled already? Plus one ATR is at 656 on Meta, and we're trading like